Wednesday, October 25th, regular class, as we'll get into more of our Shadow Clubby stuff here in just a moment. Let's see, blah, 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 blah. Did that one with you guys, we're good to go. Home children, just reminding you to retake tests. Tomorrow is the last time I remind you, since I contacted parents today. You can still do it, I'm just not going to keep telling you. At some point, you should go and bring this. Oh, and you can put iPad away now, you don't need your iPad.
Oh my god.
And then also home kids, you can go to the Shadow Club page. Anytime we're doing Shadow Club, I will have a little page link up there. You click that, it's going to take you to my Shadow Club page. That's going to have the audiobook files and the ebook and stuff like that. Today's homework is one you'll have to go to and click the homework that says CDS responses for classroom discussion survey. And then you'll go through there and there's 8 questions that connect to our conversation discussion we're going to be doing tomorrow. As long as you submit it, you get your grade. That's all I was looking for from you, and then you should be good to go from there, except for the part where some kids still have iPads out because paying attention is hard and they'll have to come back to haunt a kid. And might not impact you guys as much as it does my other classes, but because I've had kids ask, I do not care if you have snacks in my room. I think you guys have figured that out in here coming back from lunch. It's fine with me. My only issues is if you try to share it with someone. If you share food with somebody, I take food from you, and then I also charge you B points. Because I've learned, one, sharing food tends to cause drama between which kids get the food and which kids don't get the food. But more importantly, it looks like someone threw a puppy into an ocean full of sharks because all the kids go running over there trying to grab whatever the food is, and it's scary. So that drives me nuts. So as long as you don't share it, I'm fine with it. If you make a mess, and I can't figure out which kid in the class made the mess, I take food away from the entire class, unless you can figure out which kid to rat out that left the mess. And then I can just be mean to that one kid and ban them. And then finally, don't be annoying. I don't know how you're going to be annoying, but I figured it's probably just safer to put that out there. Some kids choose to find ways to be annoying. The other part is, I sell snacks. If you ever want a snack and you want to get one from me, whenever I go to Walmart, I usually buy some snacks. I keep them over there in my little cabinet area. You have to have at least 30 points to buy one, because it costs you 5 points to buy it, but you are more than welcome. I put in there stuff like Cheez-Its, Goldfish, granola bars, fruit snacks. Currently in there, there's also things, Bugles, those little corn snacks that look like witch fingers, and stuff like that. It just sort of depends on what I have. You just have to talk to me before or after class, say I want to get a snack, I charge you the points, and then you're welcome to grab a thing, and then that's fine with me. It does count towards your loss of 15 points for the week. So if you were to buy 3 snacks, you would have a detention, which is why I try to limit how many snacks that you can buy. But I figured I'd offer them to you if you wanted. Questions as far as foodie bits go? Why a telemarketer is calling me? Alright. Yeah! Then we should be good. You have a post-it note. So to remind you again, if you don't bring book to class, I charge you 3 points. If you lose your book, but post-it note is in there, I only charge you 1 point. If you lose your book, but post-it note is not in there, I charge you 3 points, because now I have to look up to find out who that book belongs to. But as long as I can find post-it notes, then I don't charge you as much. And if you want me to store a book for you, why do you want to do that? Give it to me, and I can store it for you. I just charge you 1 B point for each time I have to store it for you. But that is up to you from there. Good to go. Yeezys. And back to here. Let's do one more thing. Prior to right now with us doing Shadow Club, have you guys had a class where a teacher does like an all-class book where you guys all read the same book together?
Yeah, but it sucked.
So here's my question, because of that, what is it that teachers have done that have made it not enjoyable or not work that I should avoid doing? Because I figure I become a better teacher by finding out things that don't work for you. Or if there was a thing a teacher did that helped you understand or work better, I figure I will ask and see what things you guys have. I can't guarantee, but I'm happy to try. Avery?
Not making us sit on the floor. I dislike it very much so.
You dislike sitting on the floor? Oh, I don't make you sit on the floor. It's a privilege. If you have 40 points, you get to sit on the floor. But I don't make any kids sit down. That'd be crazy. So no, you're safe on that one. Daryl?
I'm not really a big fan of having to describe what I just read. Just like literally just read it. You have the book. Why do I have to tell you?
Because not every kid pays attention, unfortunately. I know. That's part. I do have to go back and do that sometimes because I realize that some kids are awake with their eyes open or asleep with their eyes open. I have to try and help them out. Or awake with their eyes closed. Words. Zuber!
I like listening to an audiobook while reading it.
So, me reading it in class kind of works like as an audiobook, but at home, the one that I posted up there would work.
My bad.
That's fine. I wasn't trying to attack, I was just making sure. So that's sort of what would work to help you out then? Because that's what I figure. I think a lot of people are that same way. We're getting to hear it while you read it. It helps brain processing bits. So that's why I try to read out loud, and if not, I give you a thing to listen to. That I can do. I agree. All right, well, that works. Well, then you guys make it easy. I just was hoping that there wasn't like anything. I hate when previous teachers like ruin things for kids and you guys come into it and you're like, oh, every time I've ever done this, it sucks. So I'm hoping I can unsuckify things. That seems like a word. All right, let's see. With you guys, ooh. So one of the other things I like to do is each day when we get into it is do like just a quick review of what happened previously because there's a chance that it's going to bother Daryl and that brings me joy. Just giving you a hard time. There's a chance some kids weren't paying attention and it just makes things a little easier. Ooh, I realized. Do we know who the main character's name is?
No.
We have no idea.
No, because what point of view is it being told in? Because it's in first person, we don't even know who the... Now, we're going to find out today in just a moment. We're going to finally have someone talk to the main character and say his name, but we've not even gotten that far. Or you could turn the book over and read the back of it, but that sounds like work that most of you aren't going to do anyway. But so we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah, Austin Cosmo is
Oh.
So then...
What, Austin?
Austin.
Yeah, that's not his name. That's the guy he hates. And so it starts off with a wedding in the cemetery.
Yep.
Ooh.
And Cheryl.
Who is it getting married?
Cheryl's mom.
Cheryl's mom, because I had kids who thought it was Cheryl and Randall getting married, and I'm like, no.
Cheryl's like.
Oh, how are Cheryl and Randall connected to each other?
Brothers and
Brother and
sisters.
sister. That's why they're not getting married. It's not set in Alabama. So because of that, it's
Oh, that.
I'm sorry. Was that too
Me too.
true? I'm sorry. I meant
No,
Tennessee.
that's usually cousins, actually.
How embarrassing for me.
That's
And that's where we got to the gazebo. Let's see. Ooh. So we have the fact that the main character talking and Cheryl are best friends.
main character's name.
But are they dating?
No, they're friends.
No, they're just friends. Then I think we just got. Oh, we got to.
Yeah.
Who's? Why do we bring up
Little
Shirley
cousin.
Temple in the book?
Because she's built like a
Red
bee.
hair.
She does have red hair.
Because she's a brown. She's like.
Because of the girl looks like
This
her.
ants in her
That's
There
the
you go.
coat with the chin.
The cousin Rebecca, who looks just like her, who dances around and sings and stuff like that.
That's probably cool.
And that's where we get to the little video, which I'm not going to make you watch again.
I
It
want to
might
watch
be
it,
like
actually.
I kind of
loved
watched
it.
it again. I was
Even-
just watching. Yeah.
Luckily, there's this magical place called YouTube. And you can go on there whenever you want when you get home tonight and type in Shirley Temple, the bop, and then you can listen to all the songs of Shirley Temple and just be like, rock on with your past self. I've heard she's almost as good as that Taylor girl. Yes.
I know the main character's name.
Did you figure it out yet? What is it?
It's Jared.
It is correct. It
Austin
is
comes
Jared.
by it. It's on the back of the book.
Yeah, that reading thing.
People in the club mention it too.
It's Jared?
Jared.
I was supposed to
Name
be
is
Jared.
Jared.
I'm getting ready to tell you.
So
What,
we're
you
at
didn't put your bookmark in there on the page we left off on?
I did.
I put my bookmark in a few pages, but just a few pages later.
So what page did you guys put it on?
11.
Nicely done.
7.
I'm on page 80.
How?
21.
So we're on page 11 where it is, let's see, the band member person. Yes, and then this is where we just found out that Rebecca got called up to sing. And then Cheryl hates Rebecca and she's like, I want to go hurt that girl. And then hopefully you're doing the highlighty things because we're going to stop in a moment and give you a chance to share your highlighty bits. So hopefully you have been finding the highlighty bits because we're going to give you a chance to share those here in a few minutes. We're at the bottom of page 11 where it says, needless to say, home children are right. Needless to say, Cheryl and I didn't dance. We just sat down at the table. I could feel all the food and dancing already taking its toll on my stomach. Or maybe it was just the song. You know, The second best never gets any credit, said Cheryl. Not even from their parents. You're not second best. No, I am. They're right. She does sing better than me. Cheryl played with a fork on somebody else's dessert plate that had been left there when that somebody else had gotten up to dance. You know what really ticks me off, said Cheryl, is that singing is the thing I do best. I mean, if there was anything else that I could really do well, it wouldn't be so bad. But I can't. All I can really do is sing, you know? She tapped the icing-covered fork a few times, and then a smile appeared on her face. I wish we were back in the cemetery. Why? Because if we were, sweet little Becky would never make it out of there alive. And then she laughed, that sinister laugh that's reserved for mad scientists and English teachers. No, you wouldn't hurt her and you know it. Sorry, something on my tongue. You wouldn't hurt her and you know it. Yeah, but I can have lots of fun pretending, can't I? She put down the fork and thought for a moment. Let's see, what could we do? We could, wire her braces shut so she can't sing, only hum. That's pretty good, I said, smiling. How about putting hydrochloric acid in her punch? No, she said, getting excited. We'll get an enormous cork, cover it with super glue, drop it in a barrel on Halloween when it's her turn to bob for apples. Okay, wait. Okay. We scare her so much, she screams so loud, she could never sing again. No mess, no evidence. What genius, what genius. How about we send her in for a tonsillectomy, but we write on her chart to remove her vocal cords instead. Oh, you're sick, Cheryl. Look who's talking, Jared. Who's Jared? Now we know the main character's name officially. Oh, quick side thing. Tonsillectomy. My brother had a tonsillectomy when he was a kid. That's where they pull out your tonsils, like the little things that are in the back of your throat.
Yeah, but like,
Has anyone in here had their tonsils removed?
I don't know.
Huh. It seems like it happens less and less. I was just curious to see how many kids, because they get infected, you can get sick more often, so they pull them out. But I was just curious. Avery?
What are tonsils?
They're little things that are in the back of your throat. Like if you, like here, you can feel them like these little bumpy things, and they just, I don't know, they do a thing that doctors can tell you.
You don't have it anymore.
I don't feel anything. I only feel these little bumps on the side of my neck.
Yeah, it's like there are these little bumps that are like right there. So I don't know. If you cut your head off, you can see them right there. Don't give up.
Okay.
There you go. Don't be a quitter.
99% of gamers.
Hey, I got my head big.
Daryl.
Did we have a funeral for the spider?
Yes, spider.
We both laughed for a while, then I looked over at little Miss Goldenthroat, holding the microphone like she was born with it in her hands, and we laughed some more. Don't you ever imagine doing nasty things to the people that really tick you off like that? That was a question I didn't even have to think about. Like every day. And I'll bet I know just who it is. She giggled. She knew who it was, all right. It didn't take much thinking to figure it out. It was Austin Pace, my very good friend, Austin Pace, my buddy, my teammate, my pal. It's kind of a weird feeling to hate a friend. You don't know whether to go and have fun together or to punch him out. Not that I would ever punch Austin out. It's just that sometimes you like to think about it, that's all. Kind of like throwing darts at someone's picture. I highlighted that one and put my kids who make me mad. I like to print out their pictures at home and throw on my dartboard and just right into there. Helps me get out the angry thoughts. The song ended and everyone applauded. Then the lead singer got on the microphone again and said, "Let's hear it for Rebecca!" The applause got louder and Cheryl grimaced. "You wanna hear another one?" asked the lead singer. And Cheryl looked at me with that "please God, no" expression on her face, but the applause got louder. So Rebecca mumbled something to the band, and they nodded and started up again. another big dance number, Rebecca began to bounce around again and strut across the stage, all proud. And then Cheryl and I watched some old relative toss flowers at Rebecca from the floral centerpieces on the tables, and she put one behind her ear. "I think I'm gonna be sick," said Cheryl, as we watched a scene that was beginning to resemble a freak show. Chapter 2, even though there's no number there, Austin Pace. They're going to talk about in a moment that the kid's running on the football field, and they're going to talk about him running from like the top part of the football field across it. It just means like where the track goes around. This kid like starts way up there where the track is, and he's going to go wah, and then go running all the way across it. So that's what they're going to have.
Good practice. I can just tackle him down immediately.
Yeah, or Santi could just tackle him.
Sans.
What's the wait?
I
What's
can
the
cook
wait,
it
wait,
actually.
Austin Pace.
what happened?
You'll find
What just
out.
happened? Like,
He said you probably get
In our town, high school doesn't start in 9th grade. 100 years ago, some founding father decided that 7th through 9th grades belonged in junior high school. No one's bothered to change it since. It was the first day of the last year of junior high, and Austin was already at it. He was even early that morning, jogging around the track. Coach Schuler hadn't even come in yet, and there was Austin in last year's gym shorts, running in circles for the whole world to see. Now, I'm certain he was doing it for that reason, so the whole school could walk by and say, "Wow, Austin's really dedicated, isn't he?" To double check, so what 3 grades are in their junior high?
6,
7,
7,
8, 9.
7th, 8th, and 9th. And he says he is starting his last year of junior high, so what grade are they in?
9.
9th grade. So their junior high goes 7th, 8th, 9th, and he's in 9th grade. I went to school in Noblesville, and our junior high was 6, 7, 8. And so it's a little bit different than how it is here, where you guys have 5, 6, and then 7, 8.
I feel
So-
like it'd be more reasonable if it went kindergarten through 5th, and then 6th through 8th, and then 9th or whatever.
Yeah, it's just different school
It's
systems.
just weird.
super senior.
Agreed. Well, I was dedicated too, but I didn't flaunt it in public. Austin's good at a large number of things. Good enough for people to notice, but not enough to be labeled a brain, or a jock, or a nerd, or anything. In short, he's what every kid wants to be, or at least what I always wanted to be. He is, in his own way, perfection on 2 feet, and he knows it. I hated him. He didn't know that. To him, I was just one of his many friends. If he'd been a year or 2 older than me, he might have been someone I looked up to. Can you believe that? He loves it when younger kids look up to him. I'm not younger, though. I'm 3 months older than him, and he never really treated me like a friend, or even like an equal. He kind of treated me like a worm, or at least tried to make me feel like one. I used to think it was because I was the one who started up that now infamous nickname that still plagued his existence, Lost in Space. Since his kid he hates name is Austin Pace, he gave him the nickname Lost in Space. And I did highlight the infamous nickname part, because apparently sometimes when I give kids nicknames, it follows them through high school. I have kids who got a nickname in my class and are still called that like in college. So sometimes they stick for a long time. Right, Whiskers? The name stuck to him like Velcro. He could never peel it off. Yeah, I used to think that was why he treated me like he did. But that wasn't it. It ran deeper and stronger than that. You see, unlike everyone else, I was the only one who came close to being a threat to him. Like I said, Austin's good at everything, but there's only one thing that he was out and out great at. He could run. As a kid, everyone knew he was fast. He beat everyone he ever challenged, even kids older than him, for as long as I can remember. And for as long as I can remember, I was second fastest. Always the second best runner. It wouldn't have been so bad being second best, but you see, it's what I did best out of everything. It was like Cheryl and her singing. I wasn't outstanding in any of my classes. I wasn't the most popular guy in school. Whatever it was, I was always somewhere in the middle. I was the guy you would never notice. They used to call me the generic kid when I was 10 because at day camp, none of the counselors could remember my name. I just didn't stand out. But I could run, and when you're a fast runner, there's nothing like that feeling as you pick up speed. Actually feel your body accelerate. And you realize that the wind isn't wind at all. It's you cutting through the still air like a bullet. There's nothing like that feeling when you know that this is what you do well and nobody can take it away. Nobody but Lost in Space. And he took it away real good. Not so much by beating me, but by purposely making me feel like I wasn't worth a thing. He knew exactly what to say to squash me beneath his big toe. Things like, maybe it's your running shoes that make you slow, or maybe next year your legs will grow longer and you'll have a fighting chance. Or he would just look at me with that silent gloat in his smile after beating me in yet another race. And I don't know why, but it seemed that Coach Schuler always put us in the same races. We would take first and second, but when Austin and I were racing, there were no places, only a winner and a loser. And I was always, without exception, the loser. Once, I was the best. That one year when Austin's father, who's a professor, took the whole family traipsing around South America for a whole year, it was in 7th grade, first year on the junior high school team, I finally got to see that finish line ribbon, to feel it pull across my chest as I crossed the line. I was hot then, the hero, popular, everything I could have wanted. And then Austin came back, like I knew he would. Now I remember the beginning of 8th grade. Before the coach knew him, we were lined up for time trials, and just before Austin was to go, he turned to me and gave me that smile. The smile that said, "You're nothing, Jared Mercer, and I'll prove it." The coach yelled, "Go!" Austin took off, blew my 60-yard time sky high. He beat it by almost half a second. That might not seem like much, but races are lost by hundreds of seconds. From that moment on, I was a backseater again, the generic kid, living in the bigger-than-life shadow of Lost in Space. But this time it was worse, because I had tasted what it was like to be a winner, and Austin was determined to make sure I would never taste it again. "Ah, you take those things too seriously," my father would say. So he's faster than you, big deal. I'll bet there are things you do better than he does." But there weren't. My father just didn't understand. It wasn't just that he's faster than me. It was that I was second, and nobody on this earth could care less about runners-up. I highlighted that part and put the opposite of me, because I was runner-up in most things I did, so I definitely care about runners-up. So I did not win a whole lot. On the first morning of 9th grade, I watched Austin from the stands. He knew I was there. He had to know. I was the only one in the bleachers. He ran around and around the dirt track in his bright white running shoes that never seemed to get dirty. It looked like he was going to go until the first bell rang. But then he stopped, stepped inside the track, and went to the highest point of the oval. That's what they mean by the highest point of the oval. I knew what he was going to do. He did it all the time. His school bag sat there at the tip of the oval track, and he took his blue digital chronometer, the one the coach gave him after last year's final meet, and set it to 0. Then he took his running shoes and socks off and stared at an invisible spot in front of him, straight across the middle of the field to the other tip of the oval. He took his starting position, clicked the chronometer, and took off in his bare feet. Real quick, do you guys know what a chronometer is? It's a fancy word for something you guys use all the time.
It's like a stopwatch.
It is. Good job, Landon. Yeah. Chronometer is just a fancy word for a stopwatch. Chrono means time and meter means to measure, so it's just a way of measuring time. So he's just using a fancy blue stopwatch.
So that one behind you?
Yes, that works for me. That looks blue to me. It hurt to watch his speed. He tore through the grass like a racehorse on turf and was at the other end of the oval much too soon. He looked at the time his chronometer had logged, then he pretended to notice me for the first time. He waved. I waved back. He stretched out his legs, went to get his shoes, then came by the bleachers. "What's up, Jared? Did you have a good summer?" "I did. I think we're going to stop here to give kids a chance to see what they've connected to in the book. I think that's a good idea, Lawston." "All right, let's stop there. High five, Jared. We're BFFs."
The book didn't say that.
"What? Are you sure?"
I'm not sure.
I think that's what it said in my book.
Did not.
So, figure out one of the things you've highlighted, because we're going to look into your souls to see which ones of you get to tell me and share. And you're going to tell me the page number of the thing you found, what it is that it says, and then who you connect it to. So we'll go from there. Hi, Zoobs. You want to go already?
Yes.
All right. Before I get a chance to tap into souls, what do you have?
Okay. On page 11,
Uh-huh.
Cheryl ignored him and turned to me for a split second. That's my sister because she's annoying.
I can accept that. Maggie?
On page 16 where it says I'm 3 months older, and I'm 3 months older than my friend.
So done. That would work too. All right, Santi?
On page 19, and nobody can, on this oath, could care less. Mostly my enemies. That mostly use that to skin them.
So your enemies could care less?
Yeah, could care less what I said.
Oh, that would make sense. That'd be a nice connection.
But I will skin them.
Oh, well, thanks for keeping us in the loop. That was awful kind of you. From there, Whiskers, what'd you find?
On page 15, it says high school doesn't start in 9th grade, it doesn't start in 9th grade, and it's the same thing for us.
I'll work there. Daryl?
What are we discussing?
The things that you highlighted, so we can find those connections. Ah. Avery?
I know I highlighted stuff.
Page 17, I wasn't the most popular guy, me in a nutshell.
I mean, yeah, me too. I can't knock you on that one, so that would work. Ouch. If I had emotions, that would hurt. Lucas!
So in page 13, it says the applause kept getting louder, which describes my dogs every time. You know their parts.
Oh, I thought your dogs were applauding you. I'm like, that was impressive, like their little paws going back and forth like that. But you meant like their barking was getting louder. That makes more sense. I was having a bit of a struggle from that. Sure, Landon.
Oh, Landon.
That's you, you're Landon.
Oh. Throwing darts at someone's picture. Oh, because I don't like people.
Like him.
We don't need examples. I'm sure it's imaginary people because Landon's heart is full of love and he's a happy kid.
Okay, fine.
Okay, now
Don't go too far.
No cap. Fahim.
No kids, you know with you,
I
okay?
would go dark tap. Bullies.
So the same one as Landon's?
Yeah.
So you, I mean, hopefully for pictures, not the actual bullies running down the hallway.
Yeah.
Explains a lot on that one. Zane.
Probably.
Well, you have to find it. Don't just randomly say a thing.
Silly
That's why you went through and.
It's a throwing darts.
Well, we've already done two with the throwing darts, but give me another one. You have to find another way to attack people.
I was looking at Master Yoda.
I once was the best.
Oh, at what?
Soccer.
No kidding. What position?
I was hurt, so I couldn't practice.
Dang, that sucks.
I am not the best when I play soccer, but I do like to hit
Why do
people.
you see Mr. Brokeback play
I
soccer?
like to hit people.
Dude, this one time I
That's why I
smacked my
wrestled.
little cousin on the floor.
Wait, you wrestled?
You do realize you see there's all of these pictures of me coaching wrestling?
I didn't see that.
Take off! See you tomorrow. We're going to have a chance to talk some more.